Comrade Supreme Commander-in-Chief, the forces and troops of the Pacific Fleet maintain constant combat readiness to carry out their assigned missions and possess the capability to guarantee the security of the Russian Federation in the Asia-Pacific region. The military-political environment in the region remains tense and exhibits a clear, persistent trend toward further deterioration. The primary drivers behind this growing military-political tension are the destructive efforts of Western nations to overhaul the security architecture in the Asia-Pacific region, their expansion of forward military presence, and their establishment of new military-political alliances under Western control. We are referring to bloc structures such as AUKUS and the Trilateral Alliance. At present, similar new alliances are being formed, namely JAFIS, Quad, and Aegis. In effect, these military-political pacts represent elements of NATO operating under a different guise. They are conducting joint operational and combat training events whose frequency and scale are steadily increasing. There is a visible pattern of NATO's military and political resources being drawn directly into Asia-Pacific regional dynamics. The worsening situation within the fleet's operational zone is further confirmed by the increasingly aggressive posture of Japan's military and political leadership. For instance, on July 4th, a defense white paper was published that clearly outlines the leadership's course toward overt militarization. Russia is designated in it as one of the threats facing Japan. The document also calls for raising military spending to 2% of GDP, while Japan's defense minister has openly floated the expediency of abandoning the three non-nuclear principles, a development that cannot be permitted in our region. Furthermore, hearings are underway regarding the revision of Article 9 of the Constitution and the formal creation of armed forces for Japan. A critical issue is the threat of Western blockades against Russian maritime trade aimed at inflicting maximum economic damage. We are aware that under the European Union's 21st package of anti-Russian sanctions, the previously imposed ban on selling Russian hydrocarbons within EU member states was lifted. This effectively grants member nations the right to enact national legislation, enabling them to monetize hydrocarbons seized from vessels belonging to the so-called Russian shadow fleet. The European Union is seeking to fabricate a legal justification for actions that directly violate international law. In accordance with your directives, Comrade Supreme Commander-in-Chief, we have conducted a thorough analysis of maritime traffic in the Asia-Pacific region. We track their routes, cargo, and vessel ownership. Within the exclusive economic zone of the Russian Federation along the South Kuril Ridge alone, 1,001 vessels passed through between April 24th and August 6th, 2026, 379 of which flew flags of unfriendly states, including 273 dry bulk carriers and 71 tankers, among them 26 vessels belonging to the UK and 9 to France. At the same time, Western states actively charter vessels flying flags of third countries to transport cargo for their own interests. In essence, this constitutes their shadow fleet. We possess the necessary forces to board, inspect, and detain vessels belonging to unfriendly states and their shadow fleet. Interagency coordination has been established, and we stand ready to carry out these missions. Report complete.